Well, thank you very much indeed, Marcus. It's always a pleasure to meet you and to be interviewed. Particularly a pleasure to be at Posειδώνια after such a long delay, 4 years. But it's marvellous to be back again. I always say that whenever I come to Greece, my first instinct is, why haven't I come back here sooner? And I can certainly say that about Posειδώνια. It's been absolutely marvellous to see so many people here again, in person, being able to meet and to maintain and restore those old friendships. It's really fantastic, and we've had a marvellous few days here. Greece is a very, very important part of our world, clearly. I mean, the world of shipping, it's predominant, really. And we're very proud to have such a strong representation from the Greek community, and we're very proud to service it here in Greece, and having done that now for, my goodness, 17 years. So we're very proud of that indeed. I think that it's great to see that despite all the difficulties we've had over the last several years, geopolitically and otherwise, and of course with the continuing background of the problems in and the conflict in Ukraine and with other issues in economic terms, that the shipping industry genuinely seems to be thoroughly enthused about the prospects for the future. That's always a good thing to see if, as a P&I Club, you are a service provider to that industry. It's always good to see your members feeling encouraged and full of excitement for the future. We ourselves, of course, are at a very interesting turning point now from a management point of view.
Exactly, yes.
After 27 years in the role, as of August the 1st, I will be relinquishing my duties as Chief Executive Officer of the American Club's management company. And I will be handing over the reins in that sense. I'll be remaining as chairman of the company, but I'll be handing over the reins to Dorothea Iωάννου, who originally joined us in 2005 and has worked her way up very, very brilliantly over the last several years, and she will now take over as Chief Executive of SCB, the management company. This is particularly auspicious, and it is particularly important because she will be the first lady CEO of an international group management company, an international group club, for 167 years, the first in 167 years since the original clubs were established in the middle of the 19th century. And it is a thoroughly deserved position. This is not mere tokenism. She has deserved that role completely. And we are also very proud of the other ladies that have also been rising to roles of new responsibility within the organisation. Joanna Kukuli and Molly McCafferty will be sharing the role of Global Claims Director as of the end of this month, and of course Dorothea goes forward as the new CEO on August the 1st. This is really a sea change, we believe, in not only the life of the American Club, but also for the industry at large, and we're delighted to be pathfinders and leaders at the cutting edge of this new gender diversity development. So it's great for us. We're very, very happy indeed. The American Club will go from strength to strength undoubtedly, with all the support that it gets from its members across the world, but particularly here in the Greek community, of which we are intensely proud.
It's great to be back. This is an industry that needs physical, social interaction. It's been missing for way too long, 4 years, and now it's getting back to normal. Hopefully it stays normal, because it's critical that we meet and greet people face to face, because a lot can be said with a physical stare and a handshake that you can't get on a video screen.
Is Dorothea Iωάννου appointed as a new CEO of American P&I Club?
Yes, Dorothea has been in training for quite some time. She was elevated to the deputy chief operating officer, and she was born ready. But she has been elevated now, starting with August 1st, technically August 1st, but after our June meeting, to the Chief Executive Officer position. Hellenic Hull, we have changed the name now to American Steamship Marine Insurance Company, and it's licensed to write P&I business. We expanded the license for American Hellenic Hull in Cyprus. We expanded the license to include protection and indemnity insurance cover. So now this gave the American Club a passport into Europe to be able to underwrite policies directly in Europe. So we're quite happy with that. Ilias Sekiris is still managing our office, and he has been able to adapt to include the P&I element. So we're very, very happy, very thrilled that we've accomplished that in a relatively short period of time, because setting up a Solvency II company is not an easy thing, but it's all been done and effective with February 20th, 2022. We're fully licensed and operating.
So we're very excited because, as you know, Dorothea will be taking over as CEO as of August 1st, and I will be taking over as Chief Operating Officer, COO, with her. So the two of us will be moving ahead into the future for the club.
And what is this future?
A very bright one. A very bright one with a lot of young people who have fabulous ideas that we want to turn into what is going to be best for us and for our members.
The Greek shipping and the cooperation with the Greek shipping.
So we have had a very good relationship with the Greek shipping, but now Dorothea and I will be the first two Greek-speaking persons to be in charge of a P&I club. So I'm hoping that the Greek shipping world will embrace us and support us in this role. It did not affect us as much because we're talking about the conflict. Let's talk about the Russia-Ukraine, right?
Yes.
That didn't affect us as much. The sanctions coming out of that have affected us and our members. So now every day we're doing a lot of compliance and due diligence investigations, assisting our members so that they don't get into any trouble with sanctions regulations. So that's what I can tell you about that. I can also tell you, I mean, the pandemic itself, okay, it affected our crews, our members' crews. That was the most difficult issue that we faced.
Thank you. We're very excited. Aside from Dorothea Iωάννου's announcement for the promotion as the new CEO, she's actually the first female CEO in all IGP&I clubs. We also have additional good news. Myself and Molly McCafferty are taking up the role of Global Claims Directors. We're going to be co-Global Claims Directors. It's also exciting in terms of, again, the diversity that the American Club promotes and really fosters. And we're very excited. We have very big shoes to fill. Don Moore was our global heads of claim for many years now. But you know, it's exciting new times. We're very excited. Well, first of all, as you can see here, it's busting with people. We're at our event at Pοσειδώνια. It's very refreshing to be with people again. We really miss the personal contact with our membership, with brokers, with service providers, because we always pride ourselves for having very, very close connections with all the people that we work for and our members. So we are really focused on seeing people. Aside, obviously, Pοσειδώνια is a very good opportunity to see many people in various venues, but we are really focusing on that, on building even further our relationships now in the new post-COVID era.
Miss Ioannou, after 4 years, we are here in Pοσειδώνια exhibition, and American P&I Club organized this beautiful event.
Well, after 4 years, we're absolutely thrilled to be back here. And as you know, traditionally, we would do like a major event in like some outside venue or something like that, we would have like a lot of people. And what we decided this year was we wanted to actually be a part of the exhibition. So I spoke to the organizers and we looked into seeing what we can do, and we decided that the best thing to do is to actually do our event right here, so that it's actually easier for people when they're going to their seminars, when they're going to their events, they can come to our reception afterwards. And I think it was probably the greatest thing we can do, because now we're actually exhibitors. Because, you know, we thought about originally maybe doing a booth, but to have a booth, a club doesn't get clientele by having a booth. A club gets a clientele by building relationships. And it's things like this also that help us strengthen the relationships when we have time to gather everybody together and gather our whole team. And we brought people from New York and we brought people from London. And some of them have never been here before. Some people are experiencing Pοσειδώνια for the first time. Me personally, I'm so excited because I missed everybody so much. I mean, I know, you know, I spend a lot of time in Greece. I go back and forth between New York and Athens, but this event is just the essence of Greek shipping. And it's just so exciting to see everybody again. We're very, very proud to be doing it here, right in the heart of the exhibition.
Mr. Vincent, that said, Dorothea was born for that new position.
But I'll tell you a story.
Yes.
So before I joined the American Club, I worked for a marine insurance broker. I worked for Allied. So every year I would go visit the States, I would visit family, and I would do business. I would go visit our other brokers, I would visit insurance companies, and one of the people I would visit, or companies, was the American Club. So on my visit in 2002, I'm standing in the hallway of the American Club, back then on 60 Broad Street, I think, and I am speaking to Vince and Stuart and George Simmons back then, and I don't remember who else was there. And we're talking, and they're asking me questions, and I'm telling them I'm a New York lawyer, but I live in Greece, and I'm in the business, and I'm telling them about the shipping sector in Greece and how exciting it is and how much I love it. And at that moment, Vince turns around and says to me, "Hey, you want a job?" Right there in the hallway. So I said, "Well, listen," I said, "I have a young daughter, I live in Greece, I don't live in New York anymore. If you ever open up an office in Greece, you give me a call." And 2 years later, that's what they did. So, I mean, then you know the story. I joined them in 2005. We were 5 people back then. Now they're like 20. I started off as a claims executive. I moved on to being a claims manager. Then I went on to manage the whole office. Then I became the regional director for business development and marketing and production. And then they liked what I was doing. It was working. I engaged so many people. They asked me to do it on a global level. So then I got the global position. And then at some point in 2016, they asked me if I would be interested in working towards leadership. And of course I said yes. I am very thrilled. I feel very privileged. I feel very proud. I have worked hard. I'm very excited. But I do feel a weight, okay? Because the truth is, when you're the first of anything, there's always more eyes on you. But also as a character, I take everything quite seriously. And so it's very important to me that you know, they've done a lot. When Vince and Joe took over the management of the club in the late 90s to today, I mean, they've done a lot. It was like 3 million tons. Now we're, P&I alone, we're about 20 million tons now. So I have a very high bar that I have to reach. Now, what I'm proud of is I've been very much a part of the growth over the last 7 years, I would say. And so I feel like I have been a part of some of the accomplishments that have happened. But, you know, it's one thing to start there and another thing to start where we are now. But I know that I have such a fantastic team. I have Dan Tadros joining me. We have Joanna Kukuli running the office here. We have Molly running the claims in New York. We have great IT. We have great loss prevention. And we have such a deep bench in this country. We have maritime experts and we have lawyers qualified in 3 jurisdictions, speak so many languages. So I am confident because I have an excellent team. And I think that one of the reasons I was able to get where I am is because I have an excellent team.
Όπως ξέρεις, γιορτάζουμε τα Ποσειδώνια μετά από 4 χρόνια. Είμαστε όλοι εδώ πέρα. Είναι πολύ ευχάριστο διότι σαν American Club έχουμε τα τελευταία χρόνια κάνει πολύ ωραία βήματα προς τα μπρος. Το πιο πρόσφατο βέβαια είναι η επιλογή της Δωροθέας Ιωάννου στο Shipowners Claims Bureau, που είναι η manager στο American Club, να αναλάβει ο CEO, να αντικαταστήσει τον Joe Hughes που έχει αφήσει ιστορία, ο οποίος βεβαίως δεν φεύγει, παραμένει non-executive chairman. Εδώ και 3-4 χρόνια δουλεύουμε μαζί με τους managers για τη νέα γενιά, για το continuity, και δεν είναι μόνο η Δωροθέα. Το γεγονός ότι είναι γυναίκα Ελληνίδα σε αυτή τη θέση βέβαια είναι πολύ σημαντικό, είναι η πρώτη, αλλά είναι και άλλοι νεότεροι που αναλαμβάνουν θέσεις και ετοιμάζουμε έτσι το club και τους managers για τα επόμενα 20 χρόνια. Διότι σημασία δεν έχει τι κάναμε μόνο στο παρελθόν, αυτό τα ξέρουμε. Σημασία έχει τι κάνουμε σήμερα και τι θα κάνουμε αύριο. Για να είμαστε εδώ λοιπόν σε 2 χρόνια πάλι, σε 4, σε 6 με τα Ποσειδώνια, πρέπει να κάνουμε αυτό. Και είμαστε πάρα πολύ περήφανοι και χαρούμενοι που καταφέραμε αυτό το transition.
Γενικά βλέπουμε ότι και ο ελληνικός όλος μεγαλώνει, το American Club έχει αυτές τις σοβαρές δομικές αλλαγές προς το καλύτερο, με ορίζοντα πολύ μακρόπνο. Ποια είναι η σχέση αυτή με την ελληνική ναυτιλία, πώς εξελίσσεται με το American P&I?
Νομίζω ότι το American P&I Club είναι λίγο διαφορετικό από τα άλλα. Ναι μεν member of the International Group, το οποίο είναι πολύ σημαντικό, ένα μικρό club, αλλά είναι, αν θέλετε, το club της σπονδυλικής στήλης της ελληνικής ναυτιλίας, δηλαδή του small και medium Greek ship owner. Και είναι ωραίο που και τα άλλα competitive clubs που υπάρχουν στην Ελλάδα, που έχουν μεγάλα γραφεία στην Ελλάδα για service, για claims handling κλπ, γυρνάνε και λένε μακάρι να είχαμε το service του American Club. Αυτό είναι το πιο σημαντικό. Και το γεγονός ότι είμαστε εδώ να στηρίζουμε τον Έλληνα πλειοκτήτη, αυτό που έχει το 1, 2 και 3 βαπόρια, αυτό που έχει τα 10 και τα 15 και αυτό που έχει και τα 30-40 βαπόρια. Αλλά ιδιαίτερα το small to medium που είναι το backbone, η σπονδυλική στήλη της ελληνικής ναυτιλίας.
Ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ, καλή επιτυχία.